Welcome to Recrutes HabsCast. My name is Rick Springhetti, and we are joined by the engine that keeps this thing running, Mr. Grant McCagg. Grant, how are you this morning? What's on your mind today? These are the questions I want to know.
Well, as you know, Rick, every day is a great day to talk hockey. Bit of a sad day to talk hockey, but it's
Yes.
yeah, it's well, let's get at her.
Yes, of course, Grant, referring to the passing late Friday night of Mr. Ken Dryden, Habs legend, and basically a Canadian icon for all he's done in the field of of hockey and politics and writing and all these things. Grant, I'm just gonna come out and say right off the bat, what are your thoughts on the passing of Mr. Ken Dryden?
Well, I mean, I as someone who has written a hockey book, uh, uh, that part of it where we actually have a connection, it, I think he wrote quite possibly the best book on hockey that's ever been written in the game.
I
It's
agree.
absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
I mean, I wish I could write like that. I took journalism. I've been a journalist for 40 years, and this guy gets off the hockey rink and never took a journalism course, and just pumps out a book that probably 5 times better than I could ever do. But hey, when you're that talented and multifaceted, uh, you, you you can't help but be hold him in awe. I hold him in awe. Just what he accomplished on the rink. Uh, Taking a year off to study to be a lawyer in the middle of his career, coming back and all he did was win 4 straight cups, and it's oh well, 6 cups in 8 years. I guess I'll hang him up now. Like what a natural and everything, and then he became a politician, became a senator, just um, fantastic human being. I did a hit with Liam McGuire yesterday, who was also
Great
on
one.
CTV National News, and you might want to check out that clip because Liam is the foremost Habs hockey historian. It's fair to say,
Yes.
uh, and he just talked about how incredible Dryden was, and that it's one of the best records ever as a goalie, and just probably the smartest hockey player that
Yeah.
that there's ever been. That was the I think that was the most important take that I got from it, and I can't disagree. Like just he was on a different intellectual plane, and
Mhm.
uh, it you know I interviewed Larry Robinson this past summer, and he's talking about I think I put it up on my tribute to Ken yesterday, where the the fourth game of the '76 final, they're they're all dressed, walking around, pumped up, 15 minutes before Game 4 in Philadelphia. Philadelphia hadn't lost 2 straight playoff games at home. Like they were almost unbeatable at home in that
Right.
stretch of
Oh yeah.
between about 72 and 76. They
Yep.
had gone 2 cups, and I think they 2 cup winning years, I think they lost 1 game at home. Uh,
Incredible.
and here the Habs were what they ended up doing was winning 2 straight. And they were so pumped up, he said, everybody's walking around, everybody's just pumped, hyper, all except Ken Dryden. Ken Dryden was sitting down, he was calm. He said, somebody had to be calm. And it was always the case with Ken Dryden. He was a calming influence on that group, that dynamic group that quite possibly had 11 Hall of Famers on it at one point, like quite possibly the best hockey team of all times, that late 70s Montreal Canadiens team. Um, he was. they had such a nice mix, and Kenny was a big part of that mix, just from a chemistry standpoint. The intellect, him and Savard were the well, they called Savard the senator, but Dryden
Yeah,
literally became senator, right?
you're
Could have
right.
called
You're right about that.
could have called him the senator too, right? But it, I was it immediately brought me back to the 70-71 playoff series. It's my the first series that I recall the whole thing was when Montreal played against Boston in the first round. The Bruins were the defending Stanley Cup champs. They had just scored 399 goals that year, which was absolutely obliterated the team record. Chicago had scored 280 goals in 68-69, 119 more goals, which is something that you'll never see again. No
Of
record will
course.
be obliterated like that ever. They
Yeah.
were heavy favorites. I think Liam was saying yesterday they finished 24 points behind the Bruins in the standings.
Mhm.
So it was not expected. And then my sister was such a she loved Bobby Orr, right? I mean, I think
Yeah.
how many you
Oh,
know, how many women 60 to 70 years of age grew up loving the Bruins
yeah.
because that cute blonde superstar on the fence, right? So it was it may have had something to do with his looks,
Course.
maybe, yeah. But Bobby was I think the best player of all time, and I hated him when I was that age. I will readily admit, in part because my sister loved them so much, right? So we had that we had that fun rivalry, but
Of course.
I remember her all that year. Oh, the Bruins are the best. They're gonna beat Montreal. Da 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 da. Well, um, in steps this rookie goalie, 6 games NHL experience. Um, Shocked a lot of people by being named the starter to start the playoffs, but um, Phil Muir and Rogi Vasha had not been playing great that year. Dryden
Hmm.
steps in, he plays 6 games and allows 9 goals against, wins
Incredible.
every one of them. Hey, and it's funny, it spurred, you know, later on, like Patrick Waugh gets in,
Yeah.
he starts as a basic rookie in the NHL
Hmm.
playoffs, takes him to a cup. A few years later, Steve Penny had very little experience and they brought him in to play. Why did they do that? Well, everyone remembers what Ken Dryden did, right? So,
That's true. That's a good
but
point.
for him to step in, and yeah, Liam brought it up yesterday. He let in a fair number of goals against the Bruins and the Blackhawks in the playoffs that year. But they had the two most potent offenses up until
Yeah.
that point of all time.
Yeah.
The Hawks had set the record in 68-69. The Bruins obliterated it that year. They had the top 4 scorers in the NHL. The Blackhawks had Hull and Makita, two of the top 5 point getters in the NHL at that point. And
Mhm.
sure, Dryden let in a few goals, but it was he beat them,
Yeah.
a rookie goalie, and came up with the big saves. Esposito, I remember so clearly him slamming
Looking
his
up.
stick on the ice, looking up
Yeah.
to the heavens with Dryden. Dryden kept thwarting him. You know, Espo had scored 76 goals that year. He, talk about records being obliterated. Bobby Hull held the record at 58, and he bettered it by 18. You know,
That's an accomplishment. That is something
well,
else.
I mean, even when Gretzky scored his 92, that wasn't 18 more than Espo scored that year. It was 14 more. Yeah, is that the yeah, that's the math.
Yeah.
So or 16 more. So
Yeah.
they for a rookie goalie to come in, not even eligible for like to win the Calder Trophy, and Lane Hutson's the first Habs rookie to do it since. It only took 54 years to do
Yeah.
it, but wins the Calder or wins the Conn Smythe, and then the next year wins the Calder Trophy. That will never be done again. There's so many things that won't ever be done again. To play 8 years in a career and win cups 75% of the time, that will never be equaled. His adjusted goals against average is the best of all time. He had a 922 save percentage for his career, and that's on a team where a lot of nights he only faced 15, 20 shots. And people always talked about it. It's not easy to
Agree.
only face 5, 6 shots a period
I
because you
agree.
get cold.
Yeah.
He used to stand there with his, you know,
The famous
and with good
stand.
reason, you know.
Yeah.
He was bored. I think he did it during play a lot of the time, because puck was always at the other end, right? But
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
easy
No,
to
that.
stand cold, stand there at one end of the ice and for 10 minutes, and then finally face a Bobby Hull slap shot or Phil Esposito in the slot, right?
Yeah.
So it's just what he accomplished was so amazing on the ice, and it was almost as impressive what he did off the ice post career. So, yeah, we're gonna miss him just as one of the all time great NHL goalies and a legend.
Couldn't agree more. I was not privy to watching a lot of him play. I was a bit young to follow him,
Right.
but I was blown
Yeah.
away by the man he became, and I think there was such a love of knowledge, of accomplishment, of true interest. And I don't think any of it was based on ego, because if it was based on ego, he would have just stayed in the hockey world for 25 years, get his name out there. But he was interested in stuff. He had a real honest to goodness fascination with things around him. He wanted to learn, he wanted to understand what was going on in the world around him. And in the book, The Game, what always struck me as being the most interesting part of it is that he almost found a utility for every single player on the team, right? That you'd be the extra forward, but he found a reason to make that guy valuable by talking about what he brings in the locker room, why he's part of the chemistry of the team. It's just a wonderful, wonderful man, wonderful approach to life, and I'm just blown away by everything he's done.
Yeah. Well, you see an interview and they just blow you away, 20
Yeah,
minutes later when he got finished talking because he was just so introspective. You just,
yeah.
wow, nobody else has that perspective. It's
No, no, no.
and he even ran the Maple Leafs. I didn't bring that up because,
We should
that
have
part
done.
I like to forget that part, but yeah, he, you know, became a lawyer, became a senator, became a perhaps the best hockey author of all time, and
Yeah,
uh, and ran a NHL hockey team. So, what a diversified uh, career post, after he retired.
yeah. Mr. Ken Dryden, you will be missed, but you will not be forgotten by the hockey world. Moving on, I guess, to another goaltending situation, if you will, considering the Habs. This week, Kent Hughes, we saw it coming. Uh, and I'm going to word it this way, Grant. The Carey Price contract got traded. It's not Carey Price, but it's Carey Price's contract that was traded to San Jose. Uh, any thoughts on that one, Grant?
Yeah. Oh, it was amusing yesterday. I posted, I said good trade for the Habs, um, and somebody or the 2 days ago or whatever it was now, we lost two Hall of Fame goalies on the same day in one respect,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Um, only one physically, but um, it, I posted that that to get to only give up a fifth round pick to I a lot of us were expecting it to take a first rounder or a second or at the very least a third round pick or a good asset to go
yeah.
along with the contract. and somebody said, "Well, Gannon Larocque's never going to play another game in the NHL like that." Which, he was thinking, "Well, that's not a good trade," but
No, it's a
yeah,
contractual.
you got to understand why the trade
Yeah,
was made, right? To free
right,
up
right.
to get under to become compliant with the cap. And
Yeah,
after the Dobson deal, they needed to find cap space, and once they made that payout on September 1st to Price, then it became a viable option. Talk to a team that is going to have plenty of cap space, especially at the trade deadline, because Mike Greer knows that they're San Jose still likely a year or two away from making the playoffs in a very, very competitive Western Conference,
yes,
and that they'll need to get up over the cap limit after they'll need to
yes,
stay above the floor, right?
right.
The cap floor, and so they can do that by having Price's contract. So it works out for San Jose. It works out for Montreal, and yeah, once again, Kent Hughes has made a very shrewd move.
Yeah, I agree. And we talk about the Habs. We were worried the Habs would have to give up a lot to move his contract. A certain team called the Calgary Flames gave up a first round pick to get rid of Monahan's
Oh, there
contract,
you
right?
go. Yeah.
And that worked
No,
out well
exactly.
for Montreal.
Well, yeah, if you compare that, right? Yeah, quite a difference. And then
Yeah,
Montreal,
but
what, utilized that pick to get Dobson, I guess. Did they not? Or
yes, they did actually. That's
yes,
really
right?
interesting. Very
Yeah.
well put. That's as you said, Ken Hughes is really a master at making these trades. I'm always wondering if NHL teams are going to start wanting to deal with him at this point because
Yeah.
he's really
Yeah.
good.
Block his phone number on your phone. Yeah. Might be a good idea.
Grant, we talked about I guess two things that are a little bit more sad in Habs land, but let's have a little bit of fun now. Let's go on in a fun way. We're looking at the Habs roster. There's some firepower offensively. I really believe it's going to be a lot of fun to watch the team. I think there's a lot of guys who could produce a lot of goals this year. And let's just do a little bit of a rundown of where we think certain players are going to fall, right? So let's look at who do we think is going to hit like around the 40 goal mark? Who do we think could hit around the 30 goal mark? And who do we think could hit the 20 goal mark? Grant, who do you think could hit the 40 goal mark with the Montreal Canadiens? If there's anybody that you think is going to hit that mark.
Yeah. Well, when you asked me that question, said, why don't we do a little segment on that? I got thinking, I think uh, the best way of looking at this is 35 to 45, 25 to 35, and 15 to 25.
Wow,
Because,
great. Yeah.
and here's what I came up with.
Okay.
Um, Caulfield and Line have the potential to score 35 to 45.
Mhm.
Um, Caulfield scored, what was it, 37 last year? So
37, I do believe.
that's right in that's right in where he could approximately uh I don't see why he can't score 37 again. And
Mhm.
I actually think that this year, because he's still improving, he's still just hitting his hockey prime. I
Yeah.
think that he has an opportunity to be a 40 goal scorer this year. His first 40 goal campaign, first Habs 40 goal scorer since what, Vinny Damphousse in the 90s, he
Yeah.
would be. So that's kind of cool. First
Wow.
one of this millennium. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's going to happen this year, and
That's
Caulfield, I
great.
think, is the best bet for that. Um, but I say 35 to 45 just to be is more realistic, right? That
Yeah.
maybe he doesn't hit 40, and maybe uh, I think it's at least 35, and I'd even put Caulfield's potential up as far as 50. I think there's an outside
Really.
chance that Cole Caulfield could score 50 goals this year. What do you think on Caulfield?
I think the 35 to 45 goal range makes sense, Grant. And I think the only thing that might not make him hit the 40 goal mark is that line he might hit the 35 to 40 goal mark. So the offense might be a little bit more spread out. That's the only thing I think that would prevent that from happening. But ultimately, it's about the team. So I think as a whole, this team is going to score a lot more goals than they did last year. Now, one of the reasons is that line is going to come back strong with Caulfield. So I see that's the only thing. But ultimately, Caulfield's going to have a better year this year than he even had last year. I really believe that.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason why you can't have two 40-goal scorers, and I think it's a
That would be even great.
possibility. You know, um, Liney's going to get to play with Demidov. Liney's probably going to be on the first power play. He's going to be in better
Hmm.
shape this year. He's a career
Yes.
35 goal scorer.
Yes.
Uh, and that's playing on lines, second lines. Like he played in Winnipeg quite a bit with Ehlers early in his career, who wasn't a high, a
Yeah.
huge point getter, and different centers like Roslovich. I'm thinking Stastny was his center for a
Yeah. For
couple
a
of years.
while.
You
Yes.
know,
2 years, I think. Yeah.
yeah. Well, he wasn't a big he wasn't a big point producer, right?
No. No.
And well, he's got an opportunity. He's going to be playing with better players than he did in Winnipeg. Columbus, yeah, he got some time with Goudreau, um, Johnny Goudreau. It was sad, that the anniversary came up there
Yeah.
not long
Yeah. That's
ago, and
always a tough one.
that it's still a very sad
Yeah.
thing to think about. But Johnny, he only played sporadically because they both had injuries, and Line just wasn't healthy in Columbus for any extended period of time. But
Yeah.
also centers were a bit, uh, he didn't have a great center play in Columbus, and maybe he won't. And that might be the thing that prevents him from scoring 40 this year. Is
Mhm.
will he have a great center in Montreal? I mean, it's the big question
Yeah.
mark.
Of
And will
course.
Caulfield and Line both be on the first power play? I'm wondering this year, Rick, just they both are most effective on the power play on the left wall. And
Mhm.
Caulfield didn't score, wasn't as effective doing the bump shooting from the bumper. He's they both have their wheelhouse, their spot
Yeah.
on the left. Maybe they separate them and put one on the first unit and one on the second, and try to have two lethal power play units as opposed to one. If that's the case, then maybe one of them, and I think that's what you were getting at in part
Yeah.
about why maybe two of them can't score 40, because there's a possibility that they both won't be on the
Right.
top power play.
Yeah.
But I think realistically, if he's healthy all year, right? Knock on wood, he uh, he could probably. I think he's 30 to 40 for sure, and could score again. He's capable of scoring 50. He never has, but both Caulfield and Line, it wouldn't be complete shock if either of them hit the 50
No.
goal mark this year. And
No. You wouldn't.
so somewhere between 30 and 50 goals. I know that's sort of vague, but that's where I would for Line somewhere between 30 and 50. Caulfield, I think somewhere between 35 and 50. So it's been a long time since we had two players with that
Of
potential
course.
in Montreal's lineup.
I think with Liney too, what intrigues me the most is he scored a lot of goals when he was not really in shape as maybe would have liked to have been. His knee was bothering him. So he was very static and he still managed to get some goals. I could imagine him with a little bit of jump, a little bit of movement, finding
Mhm.
those openings a little bit more easy. Because Liney is one guy, it's like instant offense, right? If there's a little like a 1% chance to score a goal, he could score that goal within that 1% chance because he's something else, right? That's the
Well,
intriguing part to me with Liney.
I think Caulfield and Laine, top 10 shooters in the league.
Yeah.
Like their one-timers are top 10 and on the same team. So that's pretty exciting. It's been like I
Agree.
say, since Lafleur and Schutt, since you had two of the top 10 shooters in the league, really, you know.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. So um yeah, that even goes back before your time. So that's going way back.
So 25 to 35, Grant, what are we looking at?
Yeah. Well, I think that this is why I put it 25 to 35 because I
Yeah.
think Slavkovsky's a more realistic number for him would be 25 than 30 at this point. A
Mhm.
5-6 goal improvement. He didn't improve last year. He went from 20 to 19, but it's all going to be contingent on him getting out of the gate faster, right? And not in the first half of the season score like 4 goals or whatever it was the last 2 years. He needs to get a dozen to 18 in the first half, and
Yes.
I think he's fully capable of doing that. And if he does, then I think he can hit 30 goals. Um, a lot of
Really,
it's
eh?
going to depend on his confidence. If he comes out of the gate, scores some goals early in the year, I think his confidence will build. He'll shoot more. He'll get more opportunities to score, and he'll just build on that. So it's imperative that he gets off to a faster start production wise this year. I think he will. Um, it's not the first time we've seen a young player
No.
struggle at season start and lose his confidence scoring wise. But hey, what's he, 21? you know,
Barely.
so yes, and Suzuki. Well, he hit the 30 goal mark last year. He's just entering his NHL prime. So I expect 25 to 35 from Suzuki again. And all things being equal, the first line clicking, I think he hits the 30 goal mark again. So the Canadiens may have 4 goal scorers this year. Um, Minimum 2, I believe. And likelihood, I would say, of 3. I think Caulfield, Laine, Suzuki, if all are healthy, if all play up to their potential, will all score 30 goals. And I'd have to go back in time. We're probably looking at the last century since the Habs had 30 goal scorers in a lineup. So,
Wow.
uh,
It'll be fun. It'll be so much fun to watch this year. And 15 to 25, I saw some names up there, and I totally agree. Both of them could hit that mark very well.
yeah. Well, Demidov and Bolduc. I um, I mean, as a rookie, last year I think there were um, 3 rookies that hit the 20 goal mark,
Mhm.
and one of them was Michkov. If you want to compare their last years in the KHL, they both had 19 goals.
Mhm.
Um, Michkov came to the NHL, played a top 6 role, scored 26.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see why Demidov can't come to the NHL, play top 6 role, which it looks like that's a given, and
Oh yeah.
pop 20. So
Yeah.
might he score more than 25? It's possible. The kid's got all the skill in the world. He'll
Yeah.
play he'll play in the top 2 power plays. He might be on the first. And if he is on the first power play unit, I think it's going to be deadly this year. I think that there's already some chemistry between him and Hudson.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you saw the interview I did with
Yeah.
Rob
No, I
Hudson.
did. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a great one.
Um,
People talked about it a little bit. Here and there, I remember.
went a little, yeah, yeah, a couple things went a little viral there. uh, but um, they're practicing together,
Yeah.
going out
Yeah.
at night. I'm looking so forward to that combination on the power
Yeah.
play, especially if Demidov gets on the first power play, uh, clicking and just shake and bake that they can both do. Like, there's going to be a lot of broken ankles uh, this this year with those two playing together because two of the best stick handlers that I've ever seen, and on the same team, young and just wanting to get better. They're practice demons. They live and breathe hockey.
Oh yeah.
It's just so exciting. Like, the sky's the limit with Demidov. He might even score 30 this year. Like, he's the other guy that potentially could come right out of the gate and score 30 goals as a rookie. W- There
Yeah.
might be five. There might be 5 30-goal scorers on the
Wow.
Canadiens this year. It's not
Yeah.
it's not a reach. And if that happens, they're going to be right at the top of the league. And I wouldn't be shocked by it. I think they can be top 2 in the East if that happens in the Eastern Conference, and certainly top 2 in the Atlantic Division. So uh, that's something to be excited about. Bolduc, 19 last year, second half of the season, I think he was on pace for uh, you know, well, the last 20 games, if he went by his pace, I believe he was on a 40 goal uh,
Yeah.
scoring mark. So he's uh, he's deadly at the bumper position on the power
He
play.
is. Yeah.
In the last 15 games, he was on St. Louis's first power play the last 20 games and in the playoffs, and scored at a pace that was like top 10, top 20 in the league for power play goals.
No,
So,
you really put down a really nice clips of Baldock when Montreal acquired him, and if people want to go check that out, they'll be really happy with what Baldock does. He's really developed a shot, and I think we talked about it in the past, where Baldock is very much aware of what he wants to improve, and he's taken the steps to become better. He's improved the shot quite a bit. He's improved quite a lot of things from his junior years, where he was already a very good player. I mean, a high draft pick by St. Louis. So I totally agree. And furthermore, to your talk about the Habs being able to produce many uh, 25 to 35 goal scorers and more, is that they have a lot of defensemen that could get the puck up the ice quickly to them. So that's going to be a lot of fun between Dobson, Hudson, and even Madison. They'll be scoring a lot
oh,
of goals. Matheson scoring a lot of
remember?
goals that way, I guess. By
Yeah.
I'll never get rid of my Italian accent, Grant. It's not going to happen. So, my St. Leonard Italian accent, but yeah, all those guys can get the puck up the ice quickly for the forwards and create opportunities that way on top of the power play. So there's a lot of ways the Habs forwards will be able to create some offense. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, what, 3 defensemen that have scored 60 points on the
Wow.
blue line, right?
Yeah.
I should have looked it up, but I believe that no team in NHL history has had 3 60-point defensemen.
Wow.
So, yeah, you know, it's,
I think,
the sky's the limit
yeah.
with this group.
Yeah,
It really is.
and I got Gallagher in the 20 goal mix, maybe. I think with the year he's had, he might see a little bit of ice time, I think maybe even on the penalty kill, he might even see a little bit of ice time, and a goal here and there on the penalty kill might help. So he might be close to the 20 goal mark too. I would never discount Gallagher. After I think he's proven us wrong. Time and time again, right? Every time we think it
Absolutely.
might be over for him, he might
Yeah.
be his injuries might have caught up to him. He comes back with a great season, so never disregard the possibilities of Brendan Gallagher.
Well, I only put up guys who I think, like, are good bets to hit
Okay.
this group, but
Yeah.
I have the 15 to 25.
Yeah.
I definitely have like I think Gallagher is probably the best bet, and I agree with you
Yeah.
there. 15 to
Yeah.
25. Anderson is he's had several 15-goal seasons, and he's a possibility to hit the 15-goal mark. And I don't know that he'll hit 20 because they're probably going to play bottom line
Yeah.
kind of role
Yeah.
and be asked to play a checking role, uh, kill penalties. I think Gallagher's going to kill penalties this year too, so
Yeah.
they're going to be asked to play, a defensive role, which might hurt them in that regard. Kirby Doc's fully capable if he comes in and wins the second line center. Whoever ends up being the second line center, if it's for most of the year or all of the year, that player, if he's between Line A and Demidov, it can score 15, maybe even 20 goals.
Yeah.
Whoever
I
that
agree.
happens to be. So
Yeah. Great call.
he's he's also a possibility to get 15 to 25. So those are three more that I think, like the Canadians could have, if we look at that group, we've got six that I think are decent bets, health
Yeah.
permitting. But there's three or four more in that mix. So wouldn't it be great if the Canadians had like 15-goal scorers? Um,
Wow.
we'll
Wow.
see. We'll see. It's I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility with this group, especially as you so sagely added that you know this is the best group of Canadians puck moving defensemen since the big three,
Yeah.
really, right? So
Oh,
y-
it's great.
yeah, so it's really looking forward to the season. Fire Wagon hockey is back in Montreal, baby.
I love those words, Grant. Awesome. So, Grant, now we're going to move to our weekly tradition of finding out who among the candidates that you have to pick for is the Habs prospect of the week.
Yeah. Well, gonna blow my own horn here a little bit, Rick. But who did I say was the what did you? How did you word it there? The most underrated? No, it wasn't that, eh? Flying under the radar. The most
Oh yeah, flying under the radar guy.
the
Yes, yes.
prospect. Habs prospect that's flying under the radar.
Yeah,
Who did I
you
say
did
a
one.
month ago?
That's why I listen to you, Grant, because you got the knowledge, my friend.
Well, but as you said to me before what did you say to me before we did the podcast? What?
The
Why might
choices
he
were
be the?
little
Eh?
bit limited. The options
Yeah,
were a little bit limited.
right. He's the only guy that played in the last.
Yeah, I
But
believe
anyway,
so.
okay. So he's probably not going to be Habs prospect of the week every week this year. But Philip Erickson again, baby, and here we go.
Yes, yes,
Let's roll the clip.
absolutely.
He's here we go. We'll roll that back. I was too busy blowing my own horn. Here, look at that shot.
Nice,
Yeah.
beautifully.
He's been playing Champions League on the first line on Lulea, the SHL champs. Look at that. Nice moves, eh?
Oh,
Got the puck back. There's a great assist that he got there. But he's got 3 goals, 2 assists in 4 games, Champions League. There's another one.
fantastic.
That one. Um, this one here, right place, right time. Boom, put her in. Hey, we'll take it. There he is over at the side, gets the puck. Thank you very much. So just a quick look overview of 4 of his points that he scored in Champions League. Now that's good hockey. Every one of those games was like 2-1, 3-2, 4. and he produced in 3 of the 4. Um, he's 3 goals, couple of assists. The kid is on the first line. He's on the first power play unit. They utilized him as kind of like the quarterback on their first power play. Now
Wow.
he's 21 years old, playing in the SHL for the defending champions, and it looks like he's going to be on the first unit on the power play and the first line. So I think he's going to have a breakthrough SHL season. I think he's going to put up really good points. Super smart. He's just his intelligence, I think, is what stands out more than anything with him.
Yes.
Just a
Yes.
really, really smart player. And I do have a full game breakdown that we
Oh
both
wow.
looked at in the lost episode there
Yes. Yes.
that we did
Yes.
that we did
I remember
last
that
week.
one.
Yeah, I'll bring that up
That's great.
and we'll have a. I'm going to put that up on YouTube and Patreon and do a scouting video breakdown that people will have a better idea of just how intelligent a player he is. For a 6th round pick, I'm telling you, the Canadiens. The only reason why they got him in the 6th round is because he missed all but 11 games in his draft
Yes.
year. But the Canadiens were sage enough to, you know, to look at that and to get enough info on him to scout those games, break them down. Um, the Canadiens uh, draft group, they do a great job of doing their homework.
Hmm.
Getting the and picking players that other teams maybe don't for whatever reasons. And the reason with Erickson is because he wasn't seen that often. Well, the Canadiens made a point of of I'm sure they did a lot of video scouting. I'm sure they looked at his year before. I'm sure they
Yes.
talked to his previous coaches. I'm sure when he did play that they had their Swedish scouts there, and even probably Bob Rob and Lapointe made a point of coming out to get to see him in his draft year, despite him only playing 11 games. So kudos to yet another really smart draft pick by the current scouting department.
Well, I couldn't agree more. I can't wait to see what he does this year. As you said, he's playing an important role on a great team, and his intelligence, as you said, was the first thing that struck me. And even that shot on goal, it wasn't always about drilling a hard shot. Like some guys will just try to rip it as hard as they could. He was focused on finding that right spot. Really, really was patient. Really taught the game really well. So the Habs, as you said, have found a great, great pick in the 6th round. I cannot wait to see what he does this year, and hopefully can't wait to see what he does next year in North America if he could get down here, right?
Yeah, right. It might be a couple of years. I know, like Vinny Rohr signed a contract, but and
Yeah,
I was excited. Hey, come to the AHL and stuff. But it'll be a similar thing to
yeah,
what happened with Kapanen. I would presume that he'll come to camp, he'll get soak it all in. Won't make the Habs. There's just no
no,
spot for him at this point. And instead of sending him to the AHL, we'll send him back to Zurich on a two-time defending champion. The Champion Leagues, they won the Champions League last year too, right?
yes,
Zurich.
yeah,
So that's not a bad spot for him to
no, no,
be. And
absolutely,
I mean, I would have liked him to come back to North America. He played for the 67s a couple of years ago, 3 years ago now. Wouldn't mind him getting acclimated to
yeah,
North American hockey again, but I get it. Zurich, the Swiss league's really good. They're
yeah,
a great organization, one of the best uh, pro organizations in hockey outside of the NHL. Um, we'll play Champions League hockey again, which is fantastic. And so Erickson and Rohr will both play Champions League hockey this year, in addition to being in really good pro European pro leagues and will continue to keep developing as
Absolutely.
promising young Habs prospects.
That's fantastic. And Grant, once again, another fantastic episode. I can't thank you enough for all you do for hockey fans and for Habs fans. Friends, folks, public, listen up. If to look get that content, please subscribe to Recruits HabsCast. You're going to get some great content all week. Grant was on top of everything. He had some great guests, some great contributors. He's going to have more coming out. Believe me, it's going to be something to look forward to all season. And we want you to be a part of it. We want you to be part of our community. And Grant, please, something else you want to add?
Yeah, well, are we not gonna see each other next Saturday there, my friend?
Oh yes, of course. Gosh, I was so impressed by the week we just had that I wasn't thinking about the loop that we're gonna have. But yes, we will see each other next Saturday at the Habs prospect tournament. It's called, right? The prospect showdown, if I'm not mistaken. That's the right term for it. We're gonna have a great time watching some of the great Habs prospects. We not the ones we just talked about, but the ones that they do have in the organization that are really phenomenal. I can't wait to see guys like Owen Protz, and he's one of the guys that I'm really looking forward to. And Torp is another guy I really want to see. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and they're going to be taking on Winnipeg's top prospects, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Braden
I think
Yeager is the one, and Kevin A, and there might be a few
oh,
more.
yeah. Maybe,
So,
Quinn Hudson.
oh,
Oh, no, sorry, he's Edmonton. Okay. Hello. Yeah,
yes,
uh,
yes, it is
di
Edmonton. He is Edmonton.
did you say Savoy?
No, no, I did not
Oh,
mention Savoy. No.
okay. No, that's what I was getting because he's with Edmonton too. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
yeah, no, it's good. I think it's gonna be fantastic. I is Demidov not I think Demidov might be playing too, right?
I didn't see the roster yet, so I don't know
Yeah.
like what to do. But I hope he plays because I'd be very excited to see him.
Yeah.
They haven't released any of the rosters. To be honest with you, I haven't
I
seen anything
I
come up
think
yet.
I think when they first announced it, they mentioned, see players like Demidov. So I think that they're probably gonna, hey, they wanna fill up it's gonna be at the Bell Center, right?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be electric.
They wanna fill it up? Yeah, they do. And how will they fill that up? Having guys like Demidov play, right?
Yeah,
So I would suspect that he'll be there. So it's gonna be pretty cool. We'll be sitting together, a bunch of us there. Paul was
yeah,
kind enough to
of
once
course.
again give us a couple tickets. Oh, by
Yeah,
the way, on Patreon there, you sign up,
yes.
you sign up to a membership, and I'm gonna be pushing this starting this week. But he's donated to uh, tickets right on the glass for um, the last exhibition game of the season, Montreal and the Senators. Now, 2 years ago, he invited me and Tony Marinaro to a game, and we were right there, right behind the opponent's net for 2 periods, and then the Habs net for a period. So we got to see some great. It's great to see the players right there up close. It was my first time. I'm usually in the scouting up in the boonies, right?
Yeah,
Press box, friggin' four levels up, or second level scouting. Well, it was neat to get that perspective right at ice level, hear the shots bouncing, off the glass
yeah.
that you duck, even though the glass is there, right?
I got the same privilege a few games after you did,
Y
Grant, too. So
yeah, that's right.
Paul again. So it was just incredible. It's an incredible experience to
Yeah.
witness hockey in the NHL level that close. It's like nothing
Oh,
else you'll
yeah.
ever
Well, you see
experience.
how fast they are too,
Oh,
right? And how
yeah,
physical it is. Like Anderson ran a guy into the glass right beside us, and again, you step back a bit because it's like, "Holy frig," you know? Glad that wasn't
yeah,
me getting ran into the boards by Josh.
man. NHL players are incredible athletes, incredible, just fantastic.
Yeah,
So,
but,
yeah, absolutely. And I'd
it
also say let us know if you're going. Maybe we could say a little hello and get to meet people, and
yeah,
that'll be a lot of fun too.
right. But, you get a Patreon membership to HabsCast. It's only $5 Canadian a month. I'm going to be posting um, exclusive videos, including one podcast at least per week on Patreon. You get early access to every video, like even like this podcast, for instance. I'm going to post it on Patreon first. My
Mhm.
members will get early access to every video, and you get it put in the draw to win those glass tickets right on the glass, right behind the net. You're 30 feet from Jeff Molson. I saw him that night that we were at the game. Looked over to my right, and there's Molson. Says, "Well, geez, I've
Wow.
got even better seats than Molson here. That's not a bad thing." You can't afford these. They're, I looked it up. They're each worth more than $300 value.
Incredible.
That's what they're selling for.
Oh,
And Paul's not going to be. He's he's always traveling. I think he's back in Hamilton again, and uh, bless him for donating those to help get HabsCast rolling here. But we don't have very many members yet, so you subscribe for $5 for a month, and you'll be one of very few that has an opportunity
yeah.
to win those tickets and get to go to the final preseason game where Demidov definitely will be playing. So
Oh, wow. So yeah, folks, subscribe, please. I mean, it's worth it for you. The value is there, and getting a chance to win great hockey tickets is a great, great, great bonus.
yeah,
So, folks, as Grant says, please subscribe on Patreon. The value is there. Grant's going to really make sure that you get some great, great, great content. It's worth the $5, and on top of it, you got that fantastic opportunity to win these incredible hockey tickets to see a game so close up. So it's a great bonus. Subscribe to Recrutes HabsCast for some great content all year. Great contributors. Subscribe, share, engage with us. We'd love to hear from you. Everyone, please have a great week.